This is Sherry Mumford with Stamping at Last. Today's video is a tutorial on this cute little see-through treat box. I found the instructions for this box on Stamping with Amore. One of the things I like about it is that it doesn't use a whole lot of materials. I used some leftover designer series paper that I had from Stampin' Up! For this little box. I used a Christmas stamp set, stamped a little saying "'Tis the season," and just use some punches to decorate that. So for the one I'm going to make today, I'm going to do it also in Stampin' Up! Designer series paper that's retired, but it's Christmas, and it's in Pool Party and Smoky Slate. These are the colors I'm going to use today, and these are the sizes of the paper that you'll need to cut. For the sides of this box, you'll need 2 pieces of 10 3/4 by 1.5 inch strips. For the top of it, you'll need 1 2 3/8 by 2 3/8 inch square. The window sheet itself is 3 inches by 10 inches. And like I said, I'm using Smoky Slate cardstock. Those 2 pieces are 4 inches by 4 inches. Now I'm going to score these, and they're going to be scored. The window sheet is going to be scored at 2 3/8, 4 3/4, 7 1/4, and 9 5/8. Each of these 2 pieces will be scored at 3/4 inch all the way around, all 4 sides at 3/4 inch. So I'm going to use my scoreboard on this. I'm going to do the 4x4 pieces first. These get scored at 3/4 inches all the way around. Next, I'm going to score my window sheet. And I found this little box on Stamping with Amore, so that's where I got my measurements. This window paper is going to be scored at 2 3/8. I'm going to do it several times to get a good deep score. That's why I'm using my bone folder as well. 4 3/4. 7 1/4. And 9 5/8. So I'm going to go ahead and fold on these score lines. And I'm going to use my bone folder to press that down. So we've got a nice good crease. So I'm doing this for all 4 score lines. Okay, and now I'm going to use my double-sided tape, my tear and tape, to put this together. I'm going to put a strip of tape there and then adhere it like that. So just line it up with the edge. And press it together. And there's the clear part of the box. Now I'm going to work on these 2 pieces of cardstock. The first thing I'm going to do is glue this little square, this 2 3/8 by 2 3/8. I'm going to glue it to the middle of one, and that's going to be my top. As you notice, there's paper on the top but not on the bottom. You can put paper on the bottom as well if you like. I just didn't find it necessary. So I'm going to center that in that square. And then I'm going to start cutting my little tabs. So I'm going to cut this crease just up to that score line. On this score, just to that score line. And I'm going to cut a little wedge. I'm going to do this on all four sides on both pieces. Like I say, one of the things I like about this is it does not take a whole lot of materials. And frankly, I've got a lot of scraps. I could make a lot of boxes like this just with the scraps that I have in my scrap bin. Okay. Now you're going to fold along the score lines. Get that box out of the way. That clear window sheet may have been making a glare. You're going to be surprised how quickly this comes together. Now when I glue my tabs, I don't have to use a lot of glue, just a little bit to make it stick, because it's going to be reinforced when I put those bands around the top. So we'll glue this tab to the side on all four sides, on both pieces. Okay, there's the top of my box. There's the bottom of my box. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the strips. What I'm going to do is put a strip of glue on here with my Tombow. Then I'm going to lay the paper kind of in the middle and wrap it all around, and it'll have glue on it. So I'm going to hold it by the edges so I don't get glue all over my hands. Although I most likely will still get some glue on my hands. Okay. So I'm going to put it just right there in the center, or thereabouts, and wrap it all the way around. I'm going to kind of pinch it as I go, just kind of make it stick to the side. And the nice thing about Tombow is if it's not exactly right, you can manipulate it a little bit. I'm going to get my bone folder and just press it on the inside like that so that all that glue will stick to the sides of the cardstock. And then to make it look like a better crease, I'm just going to pinch on the corners just to make the crease. So there's the bottom. Now I'll do the top. Okay, you can test it out. This is the bottom. You just kind of tested it out a little. And on Stamping with Amore, she showed a trick on how to get that box stuck into the bottom. So I'm going to show you what she did. You take your double-sided tape, your tear and tape, put it all right around the box, very close to the edge. Then you're going to peel the paper off of one side of it. It doesn't matter which side. And you're only going to do that one side to start with. You're going to place it in the bottom of the box, and you're going to push all the way down to make sure all the sides are touching the base. You're going to pull up this paper, this strip, okay. Then I'm just going to kind of pinch on the inside of each side just a little bit to make sure it's sticking on each side. I'm going to turn it over on the side and just use my finger to press that down. And there's the bottom of your box. And the top is going to go like this. Now, one of the boxes I made, I put little chocolates in, little Hershey's Kisses. For this sample, I'm going to use some peppermints, and about 14 of these peppermints will fit in this box. Maybe small, but it holds quite a bit of candy. Okay. And I could have done with less, probably. It's kind of smushed in there. And I'm going to put the lid on. And then I'm going to put ribbon around the box. Since this has Pool Party, I have some Pool Party ribbon I'm going to use for this one. And I use about 25 inches of ribbon. 16. Oops. 9. I'm going to tie this around the box. So I'm going to turn it over to the bottom and just put a strip of Snell just to hold it in place while I'm tying it. I'm going to find the center of my ribbon about and stick it onto that Snell. Then turn my box over. I'm just going to tie a ribbon to keep it closed. So I'm going to tie a bow there. There's so many color combinations you can use for this. As many combinations as there are colors of designer paper. A ton. I'm going to just make a little angle on my ribbon. And I'm going to tie something to it. For this sample that I did, I had stamped from a Christmas stamp set, 'Tis the Season, and I had used the 1-inch circle punch to punch it out. Then I used the 1 1/4-inch scallop punch to glue to it. For this one, it's kind of bluish color, snowflakey, so I decided to use my Snow Flurry punch. I know this isn't available anymore, but I used this punch and punched out some Smoky Slate for the big one and some Pool Party for the small one. And I just glued the Pool Party on both sides and put a little gemstone in there to make it shine. I also have lots of these little bells. So this one is also going to get a bell. Just add a little more to it. I'm going to put it right on the same twine. And I used about 12 inches of twine. I'll end up cutting some of it off, but I just want to have enough room to make my bow to tie it on. And I'm just going to tie this right to the ribbon that I've already got on there. I think this is a great little giveaway for places at a table if you're having a dinner, or if you need just lots of little gifts for different people in the office, or for teachers or your children's classmates. I'm going to cut this twine a little. So there it is. Here's the one I made before, the red and green, and here's more of a blue and silver look. I hope you enjoyed this video. I had such a good time making these little boxes. They're fun, they're easy, and they're very festive. Hope you enjoy and get to make lots of little boxes for your Christmas giving. On my website, stampingatlast.com, I will have the measurements for these pieces. I'm not going to list the names of the designer series paper because those are retired, but you can use anything you have to make these little boxes. But hopefully those measurements on my website will be of some benefit to you. Enjoy making your little boxes.